Rays of sunlight flitter through the curtains. They run and dance across the cushions. It's the sunshine on a winter's day that reminds me of the spring and the summer to come, of warm days and long evenings spent outside sitting in the twilight. A small plant, already flowering, sits on my desk, its pink and white flowers nestled in with the green leaves. Soon the clouds come back and the sun disappears again. The blanketed sky creates a dull pale light over the fields. I remind myself to enjoy the cooler weather, to enjoy the feel of woolly jumpers and cosy afternoons at my desk. It's easy to jump ahead, and the warmer weather will come when it's ready. At my desk, I decided to pull out a basket of fabric scraps and see what I could make with them. They were leftover pieces from when I made a set of journals not long ago. Little strips of different sizes and designs. One had blocks of text scurrying across the fabric, the words broken out from their sentences, no longer making any story. There was another where daisies gathered together in a meadow and pink roses floated without a care. A few green leaves sat on a wash of yellow, and the smallest pieces were orange flowers on a dark brown. They would provide pops of contrast against the other pale colours. I arranged the pieces into 2 panels. These would be the back and the front of a simple drawstring bag. The lining would be made from an old bedsheet that was ripped and well beyond its original purpose anymore. Repurposing it would give the fabric new life. When one use has finished, another can be found. I love lots of things about patchwork, picking the different colours and matching the fabrics, little squares and rectangles running across the table, the finished look of multiple pieces running into one another. There's a deep satisfaction found in making the best use of the resources I have and not needing to throw things away. Reusing, mending, and finding joy in giving old things a new life. As I work, there are times when I'm not sure the project will come together, when I'm not sure it will look nice, but I keep going, and bit by bit it eventually all comes together. There are times like that in every project when I wonder how it will work, but by pushing through it always does. The fabrics begin to match up, seams joining, and colours blending together. I try not to fuss about having every stitch perfect, and I take my time, enjoying the process, watching the needle go up and down and feeling the fabric slide through my fingers as I guide it along, listening to the sound of the sewing machine whirling away. Pulling out my paints and my journal to document this project, I am reminded of a story I once heard on the Antiques Roadshow. A lady had brought along a brightly coloured patchwork robe. It had come from an English village. She explained that during the days of the Second World War, the vicar had needed a new set of garments. However, fabric was in short supply, so many of the women in the village had donated the various scraps they had on hand. One woman even gave a piece of her wedding dress. They sewed the scraps together and made the vicar the robes he needed. The garments were a funny mess of colours, patterns and textures. The individual pieces were not much on their own, but together they made something whole and beautiful. I wonder what the sermons were like in that little village church. The vicar preaching in his colourful robes, looking out at the congregation. Was there a stained glass window where the light could flicker in and reflect its colours onto the patchwork? Would the children have stayed still longer, mesmerised by the colours? On those summer Sundays, when they would rather be outside playing, maybe they counted the different fabrics as the vicar spoke of lessons and of faith. That is perhaps the magic in patchwork. Each little piece of fabric joins together to create something larger. Each piece has its own story. Each came from a different place and holds different memories. The finished object will always be unique, a melody of different whispering stories. I keep a basket of fabric pieces, adding worn-out clothes, scraps from sewing projects, an old bedsheet and anything else that comes my way. When I have enough, I will pull out the basket and make something. The heart of patchwork is, I feel, a sense of making do with what one has. It's being mindful with supplies, and it is the joy to be found in creating something beautiful out of very little. Thank you for joining me today. Feel free to say hello in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.